Hey folks, this is Quoth again with another attack breakdown. So here we have another Town Hall 11. We've got an eagle, so this is straight up Town Hall 11. And so again, with an eagle, I've got two options. I've got a hogging option and I've got a bow witch option. And this is an interesting base because we could probably send a wrecker in about, right there, and get to both the queen and the eagle. And usually when I can do that with my wrecker push, I usually hog a base. In this case, the fact that the shape that's left after that happens is kind of a U shape, right? I don't really like that. I don't like the hogs having to go sort of up and back in terms of their direction. And so the other thing that makes me think this is a bow witch base instead of a hog base for me personally is the fact that both Infernos are set to solo, first of all, which means that my witches' skeletons can really mess with those and make them pretty ineffective. But also the fact that they are right up against the edge of the same quadrant, right? So here we have this box that contains the eagle, and if we get our bowlers in there, the bowlers don't have to worry about skipping or we're not worried about whether the queen will target something else instead of the Infernos. Like, we've all seen Infernos stuck in a square all alone and they're 2 squares away from every wall. That's because it's hard for any unit to kind of target that over something else. So especially the queen is more likely to go attack another target that's maybe just slightly closer than the Inferno, and then you're swearing at your queen for not attacking the Inferno when you wanted her to, and your attack's pretty much over if the Inferno takes down your queen. So this base has done us a favor by having the Infernos right up against that easily accessible quadrant, because all we have to do is drop a rage spell on our bowlers once we get in there, and the Infernos are down, right? And the X-bows are also close enough to that quadrant that once the queen is in there, the queen can take down these X-bows from that center quadrant. And so we also took out an X-bow right here under that third red X. And so at this point, we've gotten both Infernos, the eagle, the queen, and 3 X-bows down in this attack. All right. So that's fantastic. Really, the only really strong defense that's left is the 4th X-bow that's over here, but that's not really a problem. So I'm going to switch to a clean slide and show you how I'd actually set this up. Alright, so here is a clean template, and what we want to make absolutely certain of is that we clear out these 3 buildings and these 3 buildings. Alright, because we want our bowlers, which are notorious walkers around, or strollers around bases, right? We want our bowlers and witches and everything else going in one place, right? Now, as they travel down behind the wrecker on that green line, yes, the bowlers will be drawn this way, and they'll kind of attack along the edges of this, and that's fine. But if any of those buildings that I've highlighted in blue are up, the bowlers might go walking around this way, and of course there's no way to stop that once it's started. All right, so as I mentioned in a previous video, I do use Queen Walk to set up the funneling sometimes for Bow Witch. In this case, this base has been very nice to not set up any air defenses near where I'd like to funnel for this attack. So I'm going to drop a baby drag right here and right here by the corner huts. And so these baby drags should path this way. All right. And again, if they start pathing the other way, like sort of in a southern direction, you just drop another baby drag here, you drop another baby drag here, And again, I usually bring 6 baby drags to funnel for a bow witch, and you absolutely have to make sure that this defense and this defense go down, because otherwise they could walk and then they start attacking here and here, and they walk around along those yellow paths. No good. All right, so once all those things are down, actually before all those things are down, you can send the wrecker in. All right, so you start the wrecker to open up that wall. All right, you drop the witches behind the wrecker, the bowlers behind the witches, your king. You could drop the king with the wrecker if you like, as long as the funneling's done. And of course your warden. All right, so the wrecker should definitely get through 3 sets of walls here. I would probably rage everything about here. All right, that'll clean that out nicely, and they should get through the wall. I'd also rage right on the center. All right, and once both infernos are down, then I drop a jump right here. All right, if you wanted to, you could drop a jump here to kind of access this quadrant. Oops, I meant to change colors. Kind of this quadrant here. But personally, I would like to take out. I'd like to take out the last X-bow right here. Personally, but I usually bring 2 jumps on a bow witch. It depends. I might only bring 1 on a Town Hall 12 because I'm probably only going for a 2-star. But I find that a base with really strong walls usually needs 2 jumps to have a decent shot at 3-starring it. So, but yeah, as I mentioned on the previous slide, you know, once you have those 2 infernos down, you're in pretty darn good shape. And use the warden when you feel necessary. I'd bring a poison for the CC, which you'll probably also run into in that center compartment, which is fine. You can protect your troops from the CC as well as the Infernos at the same time with the Grand Warden's ability. Right, so I usually bring 6 baby drags, 4 healers, 1 queen, 4 witches, 16 bowlers, and I usually put giants. I usually put giants in the wrecker or in my CC because they're pretty beefy, and if the infernos focus on something other than the witches, the giants are usually out in front. And if you have 7 witches in there, or maybe 8 if you're Town Hall 12, then you know you lose a giant or 2. It's better than losing a bowler, which is one of, you know, you probably lose about 3 bowlers to an inferno in the amount of time it takes to lose 1 giant. So you know, definitely better to lose 1 giant than 3 bowlers. So anyway, hope this helps, and you know, any questions or comments in the comment section, let me know what you think, what you'd like to hear more about.